Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Sai Prabhu, Dhanam Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Bro, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Prabhu. Sorry for being late.
No, bro, no problem, bro. Yeah.
Let's see if
Hare
others
Krishna,
join.
Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Oh,
glories
now I
to
can
Srila
hear my
Prabhupada.
own voice.
Hare Krishna, Pranam, Jai Shila.
Okay, now we're live.
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayed Srinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Ridyandastoya Bhadrani Vidunuti Suhritsatam Nastaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma supersoul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna,
All
Prabhu,
glories
please
to Srila
accept my humble
Prabhupada.
obeisances. All goes to Shila Prabhupada.
Lord Shishul Prabhupada, thank you for hosting
Oh,
Prabhu.
Manu Prabhu has joined too. Nice.
Jai, thank you for joining.
Lord Prabhupada.
Oh, who wants to start? Here's a long 3 verses in one. Short purport.
Can I start, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Just wait. Okay. What is the number of the chapter, Prabhu?
116.
Okay. Can you go to the translation? Oh, yeah, because I can't read this Sanskrit. Thank you.
Word to word? Or translation?
Yeah, we can go to word and then can.
हरे कृष्ण प्रांजल प्रभु धर्म प्रणाम जय श्री प्रभुपाद
Tatra everywhere the king visited Upaslinvanaha. Continuously he heard Swapurvisham about his own forefathers, Mahatmanam, who were all great devotees of the Lord, Pragiya Manam, and to those who were thus addressing Cha also, Yasaham, glorious Krishna, Lord Krishna, Mahatmya, glorious acts, Sukshakam, indicating Atmanam, his personal self, Cha also, Paritratam, delivered, Ashvatamnaha, of Ashvatama, Astra weapon, Tejasaham, powerful, rays, Sneham, affection, Cha also, Vrishni Paltanam, between descendant of Vrishni and that of Prita, the sum of all of them, Bhaktim, devotion, Cha also, Keshave, unto Lord Krishna, Tibhyaham, unto them, Palama, extremely, Santushtaham, pleased, Priti, attraction, Utrimbita, pleasingly opened, Lochanaha, one who has such eyes, Mahadanani, valuable riches, Asamshi, clothing, that thou gave in charity, Halan, necklace, Manaha, one who has a broader outlook. Translation. We didn't chant the Sanskrit. Tatra tatropasrinvanaham swapurvisham mahatmanam pragya manam cha yashaham Krishna mahatmya sukshakam atmanam cha paritraktam ashvatamno stratejasaham sneham cha vrishnipaltanam tesam bhaktim cha keshavim tebyaham parama samtustaham prithi umtrimbita luchanaham maha danani vasam sidadavalan manaham. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya.
Jai.
Wherever the king visited, he continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers, who were all devotees of the Lord and also of the glorious acts of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself had been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat of the weapon of Ashvatam. People also mention the great affection between the descendant of Vrishni and Priti, due to the latter's great devotion of Lord Keshav. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklace and clothing. Purport: Kings and great personality of the state are presented with welcome addresses. This is a system from time immemorial, and Maharaj Parikshit, since he was one of the well-known emperors of the world, was also presented with addresses of welcome in all parts of the world as he visited those places. The subject matter of those welcome addresses was Krishna. Krishna means Krishna and his eternal devotees, as the king means the king and his confidential associates. King Krishna and his unallowed devotee cannot be separated, and therefore glorifying the devotee means glorifying the Lord and vice versa. Maharaj Parikshit would not have been, been glad to hear about the glories of his forefather, like Maharaj Yudhishthira and Arjun, etc. Had they not been connected with the acts of Lord Krishna. The Lord descended specifically to deliver his devotee, Palitranaya Sadhunam. The devotees are glorified by the presence of the Lord because they cannot live for a moment without the presence of the Lord and his different energies. The Lord is present for the devotee by his acts and glories, and therefore Maharaj Parikshit felt the presence of the Lord when he was glorified by his acts, especially when he was saved by the Lord in the womb of his mother. The devotees of the Lord are never in danger, but in the material world, which is full of danger in every step. The devotees are apparently placed into dangerous position, and when they are saved by the Lord is glorified. Lord Krishna would not have been glorified as the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita as had his devotee like the Pandava not been entangled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. All such acts of the Lord were mentioned in the addresses of welcome, and Maharaj Parikshit in full satisfaction rewarded those who presented such addresses. The difference between the presentation of welcome addresses today and in those days is that formerly the welcome addresses were presented to a person like Maharaj Parikshit. The welcome addresses were full of facts and figures, and those who presented such addresses were sufficiently rewarded. Whereas in the present days, the welcome addresses is presented not always with factual statement, but to please the post holder, and often they are full of flattering lies, and rarely are those who present such welcome addresses rewarded by the poor receiver. Text 16. Saratya parasadasevanam sakyadutyam vilasananugamanam stavanam plamanam snigdhupansu jagat planatim savischa vishnur bhaktim kalutin lipatis chalana lavindim. Salatya, acceptance of the post of a chariot driver. Parashada, acceptance of the presidency in the assembly of Lajashuya sacrifice. Sevana, engaging the mind constantly in the service of the Lord. Shakya, to think of the Lord as a friend. Dautya, acceptance of the post of a messenger. Vilasana, acceptance of the post of a watchman with a drawn sword at night. Anugamana, following in the footsteps. Stavana, offering of prayer. Planamam, offering obeisances. Snigdeshu, unto them who are malleable to the will of the Lord. Pandushu, unto the son of Pandu, Jagat, the universal Planatim, one who is obeyed, Chad, and Vishnu of Vishnu, Bhaktim, devotion, Kaluti, those, Lipati, the king, Talana ala Vinde, unto his lotus feet. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kind of service to the malleable son of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friends, night watchman, etc., according to the will of Pandava. Obey them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. Purport. Krishna is everything to the unallowed devotee like the Pandava. The Lord was for them the Supreme Lord, spiritual master, the worshipful deity, the guide, the chariot, driver, the friend, the servant, the messenger, and everything they could conceive of. And thus, the Lord also reciprocated the feeling of the Pandava. Maharaj Parikshit, as a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feeling of his devotees. And thus he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealing of the Lord. Simply by appreciating the dealing of the Lord with his pure devotee, one can attain salvation. The Lord's dealing with his devotee appear to be ordinary human dealings, but one who knows them in truth becomes at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Pandava was so amenable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord, and by such an allowed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desire. तस्यैवं वतमानस्यं पूर्विशं वृत्तिमान् अन्वहं नतिदूरे किलश्चर्यं यदश्चित्तं निबोधमे. Tasya of Maharaj Parikshit evam thus Valtamasnasya, remaining absorbed in such thought. Pulvisham of his forefather, Ritim, good engagement, Anvaham, day after day, not, Ati Dure, far off, Kila, verily, Ascharyam, astonishing. Yet that Ashit was that which Nibuddha know it, me from me. Translation. Now you may have heard from me of what happened while Maharaj Parikshit was passing his days, hearing of the good occupation of his forefather, and being absorbed in thought of them. Text 18. Dharmam padakena chalan ichayam upalabhyagam ichati smaslu vadanam vivatsam iva mattalam. Dharma, the personality of religious principle. Pada, leg. Ekena, on, one only. Chalan, wandering. Vichayam, overtaken by the shadow of grief. Upalapya, having met. Gam, the cow. Pichati, asking. Sma, with. Shlu, vadanam, with tears on the face. Vivatsam, one who has lost her offspring. Hiva, like. Matalam, the mother. Translation. The personality of religious principle, Dharma, was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow, who appeared to grieve like a mother, who had lost a child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Purport, this famous verse. The bull is the emblem of the moral principle, and the cow is the representative of the earth. When the bull and the cow are in a joyful mood, it is to be understood that the people of the world are also in a joyful mood. The reason is that the bull helps production of grain in the agricultural field, and the cow delivers milk, the miracle of aggregate food values. The human society therefore maintains these two important animals with very carefully so that they can wander everywhere in cheerfulness. But at the present moment, in this age of Kali, both the bull and the cow are now being slaughtered and eaten up as foodstuff by a class of men who do not know the Brahmanical culture. The bull and the cow can be protected for the good of all the human society simply by spreading Brahmanical culture as the topmost perfection of all cultural affairs. By advancement of such culture, the moral of society is properly maintained, and so peace and prosperity are also attained without extraneous effort. When Brahmanical culture deteriorates, the cow and bull are mistreated, and the resultant actions are prominent by the following symptoms. Dharma umvacham Kachibhadre namayam atmanastem vichayasim mra yate sanmukkenam alakshaye bhavachinantaladim dule bandhum shochati kanchanambam. Dharma uvacham. Dharma inquired. Kashchit whoever Bhadre Madam Anamayam quite hale and hearty. Atmanaha self te unto you Vichaya Hashi appear to be covered with the shadow of grief. Mla Yata which darkens. Ishat slightly. Kena by the face. Alakshaye you look. Bhavachim unto yourself. Antaladim some disease. Within some disease within. Dule long, distant. Bandhum friend showed that she's thinking of Kanchana, someone our mother. Translation Dharma in the form of a bull ask, Madam, are you not hale and earthy? Why are you covered with the shadow of grief? It appears by your face that you have become black. Are you suffering from some internal disease, or are you thinking of some relative who is away in a distant place? Purport. The people of the world in this age of Kali are always full of anxiety. Except someone who told me that she has no stress at all. Everyone is diseased with some kind of ailment, illness, physical disorder. From the very faces of people of this age, one can find out the index of the mind. Everyone feels the absence of his relative who is away from home. The particular symptom of the age of Kali is that no family is now blessed to live together. To earn a livelihood, the father lives at a place far away from the son, or the wife lives far away from the husband, and so on. There are sufferings from internal disease, separation from those near and dear, and anxiety for maintaining the status quo. These are but some important factors which make the people of this age always unhappy. Yeah.
Yes, nice purpose.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I will read the last one and then others can also read. Don't want to read. Padainyunam shochatimai kapadam atmanam vaivrisharai bhoksyamanam ahusnadim litagyanam bhagam prajautasmin magavachya varsatim. Padai, by three leg, nyunam, diminished, shochati, if you are lamenting for that, my, ikapadam, only one leg, atmanam, on body, va, om, plishalahi, by the unlawful meat eater, bhukshamanam, to be exploited, aho, in sacrifice, suladim, the authorized demigod, ritayagya, devoid of sacrificial. Bhagan, share, prajaha, the living being, uta, crazing, sweet, with magavati, in famine and scarcity, avashati, because of rainlessness. Translation: I have lost my three legs and am now standing on one only. Are you lamenting for my state of existence? Or are you in great anxiety because henceforward the unlawful meat eater will exploit you? Or are you in sorry pride because the demigods are not bereft of their share of sacrificial offering because no sacrifices are being performed at present? Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? Purport: with the progress of the age of Kali, four things particularly, namely the duration of life, mercy, the power of recollection, and moral or religious principle will gradually diminish. Since Dharma or the principle of religion would be lost in the proportion of 3 out of 4, the symbolic bull was standing on one leg only. When 3/4 of the population of the world would become irreligious, the situation is covered into hell for the animals. In the age of Kali, godless civilization will create so many so-called religious societies in which the personality of Godhead will be directly and indirectly defied. And thus, faceless society of men will make the world inhabitable. For the saner section of people, they are gradation of human being in terms of proportionate faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The first class faithful men are the Vaishnava and the Brahmana, then the Kshatriya, then the Vaishya, then the Shudra, then Mlecha, the Yavana, and at last the Chandala. The degradation of the human instinct begins from the Mlecha and Chandala state of life. And the last word is the last word in human degradation. All the above terms mentioned in the Vedic literature are never meant for any particular community or birth. There are different qualifications of human being in general. There is no question of birth, right, or community. One can acquire the respective qualification by one's own effort, and thus the son. And thus the son of the Chandala, thus the son of a Vaishnava can become a Mlecha, or the son of a Chandala can become more than a Brahmana, all in terms of their association and intimate relation with the Supreme Lord. The meat eater are generally called militia, but all meat eaters are not militia. Those who accept meat in terms of scriptural injunction are not militia, but those who accept meat without restriction are called militia. Beef is forbidden in the scripture, and the bull and cows are offered special protection by followers of the Veda. But in this age of Kali, people will exploit the body of the bull and cow as they like, and thus they will invite suffering of various types. The people of this age will not perform any sacrifice. The militia population will care very little for performance and sacrifice. Although performance of sacrifice is essential for persons who are materially engaged in sense enjoyment. In the Bhagavad Gita, performance and sacrifices is strongly recommended. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, 14-16. The living beings are created by the Creator Brahma. And just to maintain the created living being progressively toward the path of back to Godhead, the system of performance sacrifice is also created by Him. The system is that living beings live on the produce of grain and vegetable, and by eating such foodstuff, they get vital power of the body in the shape of brood and semina, and from brood and semina, one living being is able to create other living being. But the production of grain, grass, etc., become possible by rain, and this rain is made to shower properly by performance of recommended sacrifices. Such sacrifices are directed by the rites of the Veda, namely Samayagyo, Rit, and Atharva. In the Manu Smriti, it is recommended that by offering sacrifice on the altar of the fire of the sun god is pleased. When the sun god is pleased, he properly collects water from the sea, and thus sufficient cloud collect on the horizon and rainfall. After sufficient rainfall, there is sufficient production of grain for man and all animals, and thus there is energy in the living being for progressive activity. The militia, however, make plans to install slaughterhouses for killing bulls and cows, along with other animals, thinking that they will prosper by increasing the number of factories and live on animal food without caring for performance and sacrifice and production of grains. But they must know that even for animals, they must produce grass and vegetable. Otherwise, the animal cannot live. And to produce grass for the animals, they must require sufficient rains. Therefore, they have to depend ultimately on the mercy of the demigod like the sun god, Indra, Chandra, etc. And such demigod must be satisfied by performance of sacrifice. This material world is a sort of prison house. As we have several times mentioned, the demigods are servants of the Lord to see through the proper upkeep of the prison house. This demigod want to see that the rebel living being who want to survive faithlessly are gradually turned toward the supreme power of the Lord. Therefore, the system of offering sacrifices recommended in the scriptures. The materialistic men want to work hard and enjoy fructive results for sense enjoyment. Thus, they are committing many types of sin at every step of life. Those who are, however, consciously engaged in devotional service of the Lord are transcendental to all varieties of sin and virtue. Their activities are free from the contamination of the three modes of material nature. For the devotee, there is no need for performance of prescribed sacrifice because the very life of the devotee is a symbol of sacrifice. But persons who are engaged in fructive activities for sense enjoyment must perform the prescribed sacrifice because that is the only means to get free from the reaction of all sin committed by the fructive workers. Sacrifice is the means for counteracting such accumulated sins. Demigods are pleased when such sacrifices are performed, just as prison officials are satisfied when the prisoners are turned into obedient subjects. Lord Chaitanya, however, has recommended only one yajna or sacrifice called the Sankirtanya Yajna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, in which everyone can take part. Thus, both devotees and fructive workers can derive equal benefit from the performance of Sankirtana Yajna. Jai Haribo. Thank you very much. Ancha kalpatalubhyacha
Thank you,
kripasindhyacha
Prabhu, for reading
Uchitanam
Hare
bhavanibhyo
Krishna.
Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaham. Thank you. Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Naveen Prabhu Tanda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay, next Neil Prabhu will read. Haribol.
Okay, Prabhu. Next from this
Yes, Prabhu.
text 21, right? Please say so. Text 21, I think. Yes. Arakshamana striya urvi balan sochasi atho पुरुषर्देर वर्तन पचम देवम ब्रह्मा कुले पुकरामाणि अब्राह्मणे अब्राह्मणे राजकुले कुलग्रायान् अरक्ष Arakshyamanaha, unprotected striyaha, women, urvi on the earth, balan, children, sochashi, you are feeling compassion, atho, as such, purusha deha, by men, evil like that, arthan, those who are unhappy, vacham, vocabulary, devim, the goddesses, brahma kul, in the family of the brahmana, Kukuramani acts against the principles of religion, Abrahmanaye, persons against the Brahminical culture, Raja Kule, in the administrative family, Kula Grayan, most of all the families are Brahmanas. Translation: are you feeling compunction for the unhappy women and children who are left forlorn by unscrupulous persons, or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by Brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Or are you sorry to see that the Brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the in the age of Kali, the women and the children, along with Brahmanas and cows, will be grossly neglected and left unprotected. In this age, illicit connection with women will render many women and children uncared for. Circumstantially, the women will try to become independent of the production of men, and marriage will be performed as a matter of formal agreement between man and woman. In most cases, the children will not be taken care of properly. The Brahmanas are traditionally intelligent men, and thus they will be able to pick up modern education to the topmost ranks. But as far as moral and religious principles are concerned, they shall be the most fallen. Education and bad character go ill together, but such things will run parallel. The administrative heads as a class will condemn the tenets of Vedic wisdom and will prefer to conduct a so-called secular state, and the so-called educated Brahmanas will be purchased by such unscrupulous administrators. Even a philosopher and writer of many books on religious principles may also accept an exalted position in a government which denies all the moral code to the Shastras. The Brahmanas are specifically restricted in accepting such service, but in this age they will not only accept service, but they will do so even if it is one of the meanest quality. These are some of the symptoms of the Kali age which are harmful to the general welfare of human society. Also, this is based on Kali Yuga, symptoms of Kali Yuga. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Is for the next text. Yeah. Kim Shatra Bandhun Kalinopastan Rastra Nivater Avaropatini Itastato Vashana Panavashaha Snana Vyaya Yonumukha Jivalokam came whether Shatrabandhun, the unworthy administrators, Kalinaha by the influence of the age of Kali, Upastran bewildered, Rastrani state affairs, Va or Tehe by them, Avaropitani put into disorder, Itehe here, Tataha there, Va or Asana accepting foodstuff, Panaha drink, residence, Snanaha bath, Vyavyaha sexual intercourse, Anmukha inclined, Jiva Lokam human society. Translation: the so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs in disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc., and they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are some necessities of life on a par with the lower animals, and they are eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. These bodily demands are both for the human being and the animals. But the human being has to fulfill such desires not like animals, but like a human being. A dog can mate with a bitch before the public eyes without hesitation. But if a human being does so, the act will be considered a public nuisance and the person will be criminally prosecuted. Therefore, the human being, there are some rules and regulations even for fulfilling common demands. The human society avoids such rules and regulations when it is bewildered by the influence of the age of Kali. In this age, people are indulging in such necessities of life without following the rules and regulations, and this deterioration of social and moral values is certainly lamentable because of the harmful effects of such beastly behavior. In this age, the fathers and guardians are not happy with the behavior of their wards. They should know that so many innocent children are victims of bad association avoided by the influence of the age of Kali. We know from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that Ajamila, an innocent son of a Brahmana, was walking down a road and saw a Shudra pair sexually embraced. This attracted the boy, and later on the boy became a victim of all debaucheries. From a pure Brahmana, he fell down to the position of a wretched urchin, and it was all due to bad association. There was but one victim like Ajamila in those days, but in this age of Kali, the poor innocent students are daily victims of cinemas, which attract men only for sex indulgence. The so-called administrators are all untrained in the affairs of Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas are meant for administration as the Brahmanas are meant for knowledge and guidance. Oh, go next. Next page. The word Kshatriya Bandhu refers to the so-called administrators or persons promoted to the post of administrator without proper training by culture and tradition. Nowadays, they are promoted to such exalted posts by the votes of people who are themselves fallen in the rules and regulations of life. How can they select a proper man where they are themselves fallen in the standard of life? Therefore, by the influence of this age of Kali, everywhere, politically, socially, or religiously, everything is topsy-turvy, and therefore, for the sane man, it is all regrettable. Very deep purpose. It's really relatable, very relatable actually to the modern scenario.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Like here he has Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that uncontrolled sex desire that is happening so common nowadays. Like before marriage, people indulge.
Yes, Prabhu.
So many things. Plus, all our government also, the present government, how rascal they are.
Yes, Prabhu. And this is 1970s. Imagine.
90s, just imagine 1970s, and now it is like how many, like 50 years.
Yes.
Now it is even more bad.
Imagine if Prabhupada wrote books during our time. What kind of examples
Hmm.
have given?
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah. And plus, many of the examples I can see like still they're relevant actually. Many of them actually.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah,
And
that's the
yeah,
like.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because see, here it is cinema, and
Ah,
cinema is
yes, yes.
thing to what we have of the videos and all this the
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that the people have. So He didn't say radio or something like this. He said cinema. He knew it in video.
Hmm. Yeah. I think Srila Prabhupada already saw the feature, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he wanted everything to be filmed also. So I think he knew that these videos and everything will be big thing in future.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Because actually, I think even Srila Prabhupada knew this, that as time will progress, people will like the reading habit will go away.
Yes,
The
Prabhu.
today's generation, they don't read books at all. They don't even open books actually. Yeah.
Yes, see here, he could have used, because then I think books were bigger than any cinema or anything. So he could have
Yeah.
used cinema. So that's interesting point.
Hmm.
Because I don't think
Nowadays,
so big.
nowadays I see that if you want to impact, if you want to like present your idea, and if you want to impact any society, cinema is the best media actually. I see now in present scenario. If you want to like influence any society, any group of people, you can like influence them to movies.
Yes,
So yeah,
Prabhu. Here it
yeah,
is. So the for the sane man, it's regrettable.
yeah.
Yes,
For
and
us it is, yeah. For us it is regrettable. Like definitely.
like
I
you're
really
watching
miss.
a bad comedy movie going on. Everything is like crazy.
Yes. Yeah, next text. Yes, text 23. यद्वम्बाते यद्वम्बाते भूरि भरत भरतवातरः कृतवत्रस्य हरेर्धरित्रीः अनर्थस्य स्मृतिः विस्मृतः कर्मणि निर्वण विलम्बितनि. Yes, that wa maybe Amba, O mother, te your bhuri heavy, Baraha heavy load, Avatara decreasing the load, Krita done, Avatarasya one who incarnated, Harehe of Lord Shri Krishna, Dharitri, O earth, Anarthitasya of who is now out of sight, Smarati while thinking of, Visrata all that were performed, Karmani activities, Nirvana salvation, Vilamtani that which entails. Translation: O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, incarnate. O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, incarnated himself as Lord Shri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The activities of the Lord included liberation, but they are more relishable than the pleasure derived from nirvana or liberation. According to Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the word used here is nirvana vilambitani, that which minimizes the value of liberation. To attain nirvana or liberation, one has to undergo a severe type of tapasya, austerities, but the Lord is so merciful that he incarnates to diminish the burden on the earth. Simply by removing such activities, one can defy the pleasure derived from nirvana and reach the transcendental abode of the Lord to associate with him, eternally engaged in his blissful loving service. Yes, Prabhu, you can continue if you want. I think I read 3 verses. If the next one is short, I can read that also. If the next one is short.
Yes, Prabhu, it's short. Please read.
Okay, I'll read it. Okay. Yes. Idam mama chaksya तवधीमूलं वसुन्धरे येन वृक्षस्थिससि कालेन वेते बलिन्दं बलिष्यसा सुरर्चं किं हृतम् अम्ब सौभगान्. Idam, this mama unto me, achaksyavaha kindly inform, tava your, adhimulam the root cause of it tribulations, vasundhare the reservoir of all riches, yena by which vik, vrik, vikarsita Vikarsita Asi reduced to much weakness, Kalina by the influence of time, were or they your Balinam, very powerful. Bali, yes, sir, more powerful. Sura Architam, adored by the demigods. Kim, weather. Ritam, taken away. Amba, mother. Saubhagam, fortunate. Translation: Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations, by which you have been reduced to such a weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcefully taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods. Purport: by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By the grace of the Lord, each and every planet is created fully equipped. So this earth is not only fully equipped with all the riches for the maintenance of the inhabitants, but also when the Lord descends on the earth, the whole earth becomes so enriched with all kinds of opulences that even the denizens of heaven worship it with all affection. But by the will of the Lord, the whole earth can at once be changed. He can do and undo a thing at his sweet will. Therefore, no one should consider himself to be self-sufficient or independent of the Lord. Okay, Prabhu, you can continue. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity to read. Vanchakalputrabhascha kripa sandevaccha paitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Okay,
Yes, so you can read.
Then Manu Prabhu or Praveen Prabhu or Pranjal Prabhu, you can read. Any of you can read like 1 or 2 verse, then we can sing some prayer. Who wants to read?
I'll read, bro. Praveen here.
Okay, let's read 2 verses.
Yeah. धरण्युवाच भवान् हि वेद तत् सर्वं यन्मां धर्मानुपृच्छसि वर्तसे येन पादैर्लोक सुखावहैः. See, Dharani Uvacha. Mother Earth replied, Bhavan, your good self, he certainly, Veda, no. Tat sarvam, all that you have inquired from me, yet that mam, from me, dharma, O personality of religious principles, anuprichasi, you have inquired one after another, chaturbihi, by 4, vartase, you exist, yena, by which, padaihi, by the legs, loka, in each and every planet, sukha, avahaihi, increasing the happiness. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the earthly deity in the form of a cow thus replied to the personality of religious principles in the form of a bull, O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply to all those questions. Once you too were maintained by your 4 legs and increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. Purport: the principles of religion are laid down by the Lord Himself, and the executor of such laws is Dharmaraja or Yamaraja. Such principles work fully in the age of Satyuga. In the Treta Yuga, they are reduced by a fraction of 1/4. In the Dwapara Yuga, they are reduced to 1/2. And in the Kali Yuga, they are reduced to 1/4, gradually diminishing to the zero point, and then devastation takes place. Happiness in the world depends proportionately on the maintenance of the religious principles, individually or collectively. The best part of valor is to maintain the principles despite all kinds of odds. Thus, one can be happy during the span of life and ultimately return to Godhead.
Oh. So in Kali Yuga, it reduces to 1/4. So means 3
Yes,
legs of the bull is like cut off and only 1 leg is left.
exactly.
Yeah. That's why we can see so many crazy people nowadays. It is all because reduction of religious principles. Because people
Yes.
have left the religious principles. Yes, bro. Yeah.
There is one only that is left, but I forgot what it is. Which one it is?
Truth. I think it is dharma. It is truth. I think only that one. Actually, there are I think 4 legs. One is cleanliness. One is truth. One is, I think, religious principles, if I am not wrong. And the other one I forgot.
Now, one thing is ahimsa, violence, non-violence.
Yeah. Gandhi
Ahimsa,
philosophy.
ahimsa, truthfulness, cleanliness, and there's one more thing. One second, let me see.
I think ahimsa. I don't. I think ahimsa maybe.
Yeah,
One
daya,
was
compassion. Yeah,
yeah,
truthfulness,
compassion. Yeah.
compassion, austerity, and cleanliness.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
not non-violence. It's tapasya. Yeah.
From ahimsa, I only remember one person, Gandhi.
No. Yeah, compassion is nothing but ahimsa. Ahimsa falls
Yeah.
under compassion. Daya.
Yeah. So now currently austerity is gone. Austerity is gone. Cleanliness is gone. Compassion is gone. Only truth remains, and that is also slowly going away.
Yes,
Hmm.
bro.
Ultimately zero.
Yes, everything is becoming fake.
I think even truth nowadays, I think I can't see any truth. Like people, they don't speak truth. They like speak lie. That oh, I'll do this work, but later on they like don't do anything. I see people lying. I think even truth is like only 50% left, maybe.
Okay, so we continue with this because it's really big one. It will
Ah,
take
yeah, yes,
time.
bro. The chapter name is I think Parikshit.
How Parikshit received the age of Kali.
How Parikshit? I think yeah, Parikshit. He was going to cut off the head of Kali. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
How Parikshit received the age of Kali. Yes, this is I think text chapter. I think chapter
16, Prabhu.
16. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहाधवाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावतु जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रैप्यता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इहाजनि नानुरागः कृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितदूले सदृशं विचिन्तया
नयनं गरदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गद हृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहे ने भविष्यति
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां विनस्तु माम् अदर्शनां मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers, only one who causes devotional service birth after birth.
O Son of Maharadhananda Krishna, I am your eternal Savior. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling our separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
हरि बोल श्री शिक्षाष्टकम की जय चैतन्य महाप्रभु की
Jai.
बहुजन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तबुता न पाए कृष्ण पारे प्रेमदान. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal for this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord.
Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the nature of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense is to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense is not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema.
Let us offer humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like these are trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
वाचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnava की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद
जय
की जय. गौरव हरि बोल.